Welcome to Otherworldly Culture Presents The List. We are going to be taking a look. This is a fun one to start with, everybody. And we're pretty excited about tonight's program. This is The List. And here, do you see my Santa shirt? Oh, okay, good. Glad that you could see it because we're going to be very Santa-y. Is that a word? We're going to be very Santa-esque. How about that? Today, here on Otherworldly Culture Presents The List. I'm your host, Tim Kretschmann, so pleased that you could join us. What we're going to be doing, and I'm not kidding, we have about 63 movies that we're going to be going through and putting them in order as to favorites that I have. I have personally have seen every single one of the movies we're going to be talking about today, some as recently as this week. So I'm a huge Christmas movie fan, and I hope that all of you that tuned in today are too. And I also want to remind you, when we're not broadcasting, we're also out on Twitter. You can check us out at twitter.com/radioother. Another thing I wanted to show you all is my office. I actually have a little Christmas village, so let's show that. That's over in the corner of my office. Let me go over and press Santa Claus. He's stuck in the chimney. So here I am. Hello. Yeah, we're gonna just... Yeah, that's my favorite. I love that. You know what would be great? A little Christmas magic would be great. There we go. Now I feel better. Everything's so nice and Christmassy here on The List. So glad that you could join us. We're going to get things started here right now. We're going to go... Well, let's get rid of that. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, let's get things ready here on The List. Okay. And again, Otherworldly Culture. Let's take a quick look. Let's take a quick look at the comments. Want to thank Tammy for joining us here tonight. And so you are not everybody's going to agree with the list. I can tell you that right now. I'm going to try to grab them mostly from this corner. They're in semi-alphabetical order. I also kind of put them in there for dramatic effect. The first one I have here is an anime. Oh, I should explain. So it's kind of a A, B, C, D, F, and not really type of a listing here. You got your top movies that are top elf. Very jolly, that are good movies, but not quite as, they're not that top tier. Ho, ho, hum, kind of in the middle. Then there's the naughty ones, the ones that are actively bad. And then shameful, those are the ones that are getting coal in their stocking. And of course, there's not a Christmas movie, which I'm sure lots of people are going to be irritated with me about. I don't care. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one we have here is Arthur Christmas. I'm going to put that... Whoops. I am going to put that probably at very jolly. I was surprised how good it is. By the way, first I go through and just get them into general things, then I'm going to go through and get them in order. So let's take a look. Next one is Babes in Toyland. I think this is an underviewed film with Annette Funicello, Disney film. I think it's so high on my list because I watched it a lot on the Disney Channel back when the Disney Channel was trying to be HBO. So that's a long time ago. But they were trying to be a premium channel before they went all tweeny. So I liked it a lot. Now the next two, I don't know why they're out of order, but we have Bad Santa and Bad Santa 2. This might be the first one that people get mad at me. I'm not a huge fan of the Bad Santa franchise, And I actually thought the sequel was just a little bit better than the original. Yeah. So let's take a look. The next one, anybody that knows me knows where Bishop's Wife is going to go. That's going right to the top shelf. I think it's the greatest Christmas movie ever made. We'll take a look through the rest of these, but I'm not 100% sure anybody's going to change my mind on that one. The Charlie Brown Christmas. Charlie Brown Christmas is a great movie. Wait a minute. Am I seeing what I think I am? Well, thank you so much. Somebody is agreeing with me on Bishop's Wife. Thank you. I agree. It's just such a fantastic film. Okay, next one we got here. Charlie Brown Christmas. I think this is still a classic. I'm probably going to put that on the top shelf. People that were going crazy about, they're not showing the Charlie Brown Christmas, and they're not going to show the Thanksgiving special. Well, first of all, you should have been happy about that, because the Thanksgiving special was terrible. But also, Charlie Brown Christmas was only shown once a year, too. So everybody calm your stuff down. Okay, Christmas Carol with George C. Scott. I have to admit, not a fan of the George C. Scott version, but it's also not bad. It's a good movie. After that, we got the two Christmas Chronicles. The one that came out last year, or 2 years ago, and the one that came out this year. Now, Christmas Chronicles 2, I have to admit, I wasn't a super fan of that. I did enjoy the original quite a bit. In fact, Christmas Chronicles 2, I'm having a hard time deciding if that's top shelf or very jolly. I think it's going to go in very jolly, just from the standpoint of it's so new, I don't know how it's going to age. So I'm putting it there. That's maybe out of an abundance of caution. We'll see what we do in a minute. But the Christmas Chronicles 2 is definitely a full step lower. So Ho Ho Hum is right for that one. Next we have The Christmas Story, A Christmas Story with Ralphie. That's going right on the top shelf. I doubt anybody's going to disagree with me on that one. That's just a classic. Christmas with the Cranks. Have you seen Christmas with the Cranks? Let's just put that right where it needs to be, right there in Shameful. Deck the Halls. Ooh, there's a 1-2 punch. Let's put that one right there. Terrible, terrible movies, both of them. Do not watch them, even on a dare. Even if you're, like me, a big fan of the podcast, Why Did This Get Made, or How Did This Get Made? Even after, listening to their podcast on the subject of those movies, they're still terrible, terrible films. Don't watch them. Now, Die Hard. This is where people are going to get mad at me. I am putting that right in Not a Christmas Movie. Sorry, Charlie. It is not a Christmas movie. It just is not. First of all, it's in LA and there's no snow anywhere in this thing except for fake snow. It's about bloodshed and violence. Frankly, I think it might be the greatest action movie that was ever made. But it just isn't a Christmas movie. If you want to pretend it's a Christmas movie and that's your reason for seeing it every year, go right ahead. Because it does need to be seen every year. But it's not a Christmas movie. Get over yourself. Next we have the Disney Christmas Carol, where Jim Carrey did a motion capture thing for the Christmas Carol. Better than I expected. I'm torn between, is it a B or a C? I think it's going to go into B. I did like it quite a bit more than George C. Scott's. The next is 8 Crazy Nights by Adam Sandler. Technically a Hanukkah film. It's certainly more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard, though. Unfortunately, it's just not that good. I'm going to put it in that naughty area. It isn't quite as aggressively poor as the Cranks or Deck the Halls, but boy, it's not making a lot of fans. Let's see. Our next one, we got Elf. Elf is got to be top shelf. It's top Elf. Ha ha! So that's up there. Ernest Saves Christmas. Interesting that would show up next to Elf, because if you watch the end of Ernest Saves Christmas, it's a lot like the end of Elf. They basically have the same climax. But Ernest Saves Christmas, really not a great movie. I'm putting it in Ho Ho Hum just because it wasn't aggressively bad either. It just kind of was in the middle. What's this next one? Four Christmases. Let's put that right where it needs to be. There you go. Fred Claus. Oh boy, that's another really terrible one. I do plan to look at Fred Claus again sometime in the future, because I don't know if it was really as bad as I thought, or if I was just having a bad day. But I suspect it was terrible. Frosty the Snowman. I'm going to put it on the top shelf. It really is good. What helps it a lot is it's 30 minutes long. It isn't very long. Helps it a lot. Gremlins. I see this one. People talking about it as a Christmas movie. I love Gremlins. It even has a discussion of Santa Claus. It is not a Christmas movie. Get out of here. Give me a break. Okay, now we got the Grinches. So we have the original TV special. We have the Jim Carrey version that was directed by Ron Howard in, I want to say, 1990. It might be 1990 or so. And then there was The Grinch that came out just last year. Well, I'm not a huge fan of all the Grinches. I'm not a huge fan, but definitely the original is the best. I'm going to put that up in the top shelf. The Ron Howard version has grown on me. I like how epic it is, so I'm going to put that in the second. The Grinch I watched just last year, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to put it in Ho Ho Hum. Though I have to admit, when I first saw the Ron Howard Grinch, that probably would have been in here too. So maybe it'll grow on me. I don't know. Harold and Kumar Do Christmas. Funnier than I thought it would be. Still horrific. So we'll put that right about there. A little bit better than these other in the Hall of Shame. But okay, Home Alone. Now we got 4 of them here. There's actually a 5th one called The Holiday Heist, but I'm going to show you the Home Alone movies are very easy to categorize. You just take the first one, and that goes here in the B level. The second one goes in the C level, and the third and the fourth one, you can just put those right in that F area, not a problem. Next movie, we have Jack Frost, which I think it was the voice of Michael Keaton on that one. It's not a complete joke, but it also is not very good. We're going to put that right at that D level. Jingle All the Way. I have tried to give this movie a second chance. I'm going to say 30 or 40 times. It doesn't get any better. I'm going to put it at the D level. It's not quite the shameful level, but they shouldn't be very proud of themselves. Jingle Jangle. Now, if you haven't checked this out, I think it's out on Netflix right now. I think it's new. I liked it a lot. I'm not going to put it in the top shelf because I felt the middle was saggy. It was a little slow in the middle. But, boy, it comes off strong at the beginning. I am going to put that right there in that B level of very jolly. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's easy. Go right to the top. There you go. Lethal Weapon. Now, people sometimes sit there and they go, Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. It's got as many Christmas references as Die Hard. In fact, in the opening scene, they have a Christmas tree and they're playing Jingle Bell Rock. Okay? So, if you're going to call Die Hard a Christmas movie, you better call Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie. Oddly, also one of the greatest action movies ever made. It's probably the second best after Die Hard. It's a great, great movie, but it is not a Christmas movie. Get out of here. Love Actually. I'm going to move this right where it deserves to be, in the top shelf. It is awesome. Love, love, love that movie. It has multiple levels to it that they talk about. I agree wholeheartedly, Tammy. Thanks for that. It has all these different stories, and if you look at each of the stories separately, it's a different genre of romantic comedy. And of course, setting it at Christmas, that fills all those gaps because it is a very romantic time of the year. So Love Actually definitely deserves its spot over on the top shelf. Next, we have The Man Who Invented Christmas. This came out 2 years ago? I think 2 years ago. See this movie. Guess where that one's going? Right up to the top. I have no problem putting it there. An excellent, excellent film. March of the Wooden Soldier, also known as Babes in Toyland, by Laurel and Hardy. I actually have decided that's probably tomorrow night that I'm going to be dusting that one off. I like this movie a lot, but not. I think I'm going to put it probably on the higher end of ho-ho. I think that's where it's going to end up being. We'll see. Let's put it there for now. Miracle on 34th Street. We got two versions. We have the original, and then we have the sweetened in the 90s. Miracle on 34th Street, the original, my dad's absolute favorite. I'm going to put it up on the top shelf. Again, this is not in order yet up here, so people calm down. And then the remake, I got to put it in like the ho-hum. Where have I got Grinch? Okay. We'll see. Some of these might jostle for position as I go. Mixed Nuts. Saw that for the first time last year. And I don't like it very much. I don't think... Steve Martin, I'm a huge fan. Not of that movie. Not too good. Now, the next one we have is The Muppet Christmas Carol. I believe this is the Muppets' best movie. Better than even the original Muppet movie. It's a lot of fun. And personally, I think it's one of the best adaptions of The Christmas Carol. Because by having Gonzo play Charles Dickens and actually read lines from the movie, from the book, you get a real feel for that book. You just do. It's a lot of fun. So check it out the next time you get a chance. Let's see, what do we got here? All right. Okay, we're going to the next one here. Oh, okay, there's still stuff coming in. Let's see. Next we have... That's Muppet Christmas... There's a lot of different... Okay, this one's Muppet Family Christmas over here. I'm going to put that in B. If you have not seen Muppet Family Christmas, it's one of the few times that they put the Muppet Show characters, the Sesame Street characters, and the Fraggle characters all together in one show. I believe it was made shortly before Jim Henson's passing. It is really spectacular. Well worth seeing. Oh, okay. So this one here... is Muppets Letters to Santa, which I think is the better of the two Muppet television movies. The other is A Very, Very Merry Muppet Christmas. That one, I go back and forth. It's kind of a take on It's a Wonderful Life. Let's put it up in B, but we'll see. I may throw that down one. Nightmare Before Christmas... excellent film. Really enjoy it. Some people debate if it's a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie with a Halloween taste. I'm going to put it only at Very Jolly, though. I don't think it's in that top tier. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. People that know me, this is one of my top movies. That goes right to the top. There you go. I know it's set at Thanksgiving. Okay, I get that. But it's a Christmas movie. It's about going home for the holiday. And John Candy has a perfectly sublime performance in it. It's really worth seeing. Preacher's Wife, which was the remake of A Bishop's Wife, done by Penny Marshall with Denzel Washington and Whitney Houston in it. As I said kind of at the beginning, Bishop's Wife is my absolute favorite. This movie, I gotta put it in. It's actually bad. It's a bad movie. It does have a great rendition. Whitney Houston sings a song called Joy that is just absolutely fantastic in it. So the soundtrack's good. The movie, and I can go into detail as to what the problems with this movie is, but the main one is it doesn't know who the main character is. Where in The Bishop's Wife, it is definitely Cary Grant's character Dudley and the wife herself. This movie, it had so many characters. It was going off in all these different directions. It didn't know what it wanted to be. Just a shame. Rise of the Guardians, surprisingly to me, I enjoy this film. I'm going to have to put it in ho-ho-hum right now. We'll see. It might go up. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that's not a question mark. That's an exclamation point right on the top tier. Now, this gets rough. We got Santa Claus, Santa Claus 2, and Santa Claus 3. Santa Claus, the original, I think is a forgotten classic because of Elf. I think people have forgotten that this movie exists, and it's such a great movie. So I'm putting it in that top shelf, which means we got a second top shelf. That's not going to last. I will have to correct that. Santa Claus 2 is definitely a step down. Still a very good movie. Santa Claus 3, I'm putting in shameful. It's terrible. I love Martin Short. I love this franchise. But my God, people, that is terrible. Scrooged with Bill Murray. I'm not a huge fan of this particular version of Christmas Carol. And as you can see, I've seen a few. I am going to have to put that only at the ho-ho-hum level. The Night Before came out a few years ago with Seth Rogen. Boy, where is Harold and Kumar? I'm going to put it right next to it because they're about the same movie. Next is Polar Express. I did not grow up with this book. I didn't really care for the movie a whole lot. Gonna throw it right in. It's not a D. It's in the ho-ho-hum area. It's a Wonderful Life is sitting here. I'm not even going to pretend. That's going to be going in that top shelf, so that's going to be a tough fight up there. And then Trading Places. I like this movie. I don't love it. We're going to throw that right into Very Jolly. So let's take a look at the top line. Top movie is Bishop's Wife. I'm going to move Miracles on 34th Street. That's going to take second position for me. Elf is strong. Elf is really strong, but I'm going to have to take Love Actually, move that over in third. I am going to put Elf in there. I loved the first time I saw it too. It was great. You know what? Grinch is going into the basement. That's going down. Love Actually, Elf. Christmas Story, strong. It's a Wonderful Life. I like that movie. What I don't like about It's a Wonderful Life is it seems to have overshadowed Bishop's Wife, so I got kind of this love-hate thing for it. Oh boy, the rest of this is really, really super strong. I'm going to move Christmas Vacation here. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles right next to it, the two John Hugheses. Yeah, Christmas Vacation is only edging it out because Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is technically a Thanksgiving movie. That's the only reason I would give Christmas Vacation a higher mark. Santa Claus, oh boy, where am I putting that? That's got to be right here. Charlie Brown Christmas is going down for now. Okay, Muppet Christmas Carol. Oh, gee willikers, this has to go up here. That is my favorite Christmas Carol by far. That beats Christmas Story. Yeah, that's about right. Man Who Invented Christmas, definitely up. Rudolph, up. You know what? Frosty's going down. Which means now I got a problem in the Very Jolly section. Well, I brought it upon myself. Any of these are sea level. Well, this Muppet, the Very Merry Muppet Christmas, that's going to go down. We are probably looking at Arthur Christmas going down. All right, let's start putting these in order. Oh boy. Okay. Frosty's going to be pretty high up there. The original Grinch is definitely going to beat the Ron Howard Grinch. Christmas Chronicles is strong. I'm going to put it there. Jingle Jangle was strong, but I do like Muppets Letters to Santa. I'm going to put that right after Christmas Chronicles. This is terribly difficult. Muppet Family Christmas, that's actually better than all of these. That's going right there. I do like Babes in Toyland where I have it, but I'm going to move it down a little bit. Home Alone, I'm not as huge of a fan as a lot of people, so that's going to go down. Trading Places definitely just got pushed into ho-hum. Oh, God. I still got problems, but I know there's some in here that could go. This is about right. Okay, so now let's go to ho-hum. We got Bad Santa 2. I do want that a full level above Bad Santa, but it doesn't need to be the top of this group. Probably Scrooged and the Very Merry Muppet Christmas. Probably George C. Scott coming in, and Arthur Christmas, that's about right. Christmas Chronicles 2 is going down a little bit. Ernest Saves Christmas is going down a little bit. Let's move the March of the Wooden Soldier up behind Arthur. Then we got the newer Grinch. That Miracle on 34th Street is actually better than the newer Grinch. I'm going to put that there. Then we got the Polar Express. That's actually pretty good compared to some of these. Home Alone 2, one of the most violent films ever made. So violent. Oh my gosh. I didn't include Bad Mom's Christmas. And I realized I don't have Office Party Christmas, which actually would have made things more difficult for me because I actually like that movie quite a bit. But yes, I have seen Bad Mom's Christmas. I'm glad I didn't include it. I don't know where I would put it. Okay, Bad Santa 2, Christmas Chronicles. I think those are good. Trading Places is a better movie than Home Alone 2. Rise of the Guardians. Which, can I dump Ernest down? Yeah, Ernest is not that great. But it's definitely the best of this group. Mixed Nuts is probably my least favorite of this because it's boring. Preacher's Wife. Gonna put that above Bad Santa. It's definitely better than that. Harold and Kumar, those are in exactly the right place. 8 Crazy Nights needs to come down to Mixed Nuts and say hi. Yeah, I think I got those right. Then Shameful, which is the worst? Oh my gosh. If most disappointing, but Santa Claus 3 is actually probably the best of the worst there. These are all so abysmally poor. It's hard to say. I think the worst is Four Christmases. I think it is. Yeah, I think I got that right. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so there's our list. Let's read them off in order. We have Bishop's Wife in the first place. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it, you have to check it out. It's often overlooked. We have Miracle on 34th Street is there. Love Actually. Great flick. Check it out. Elf. We have Muppet Christmas Carol, Christmas Story, It's a Wonderful Life, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, The Santa Claus, The Man Who Invented Christmas, and Rudolph. Then following that, we have the Muppet Family Christmas Christmas Special, Frosty the Snowman, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original TV special, Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell. Then we have Letters from Santa, Muppets, the Disney Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. If you have not seen that, that is also a very, like Muppet Christmas Carol, it really uses the words of Dickens quite a bit, and it is a very faithful adaptation, I would say. The Grinch with Jim Carrey. It's interesting that the two Jim Carreys ended up next to each other. Babes in Toyland with Annette Funicello. That's one that's often overlooked. I think people should check it out. The new Jingle Jangle, great movie. Give it a shot. Home Alone, the original. Then the Charlie Brown Christmas, Nightmare Before Christmas, and then Santa Claus 2. Then we have Scrooged, the Very Merry Muppet Christmas movie. Christmas Carol, and Arthur Christmas. Arthur Christmas, if you're not into cartoon Christmas movies, this might be the one that changes your mind. Give it a shot. March of the Wooden Soldier with Laurel and Hardy. We got the Miracle on 34th Street, the newer version. Then we have the brand new Grinch with Cumberbatch in there. Then we have Polar Express, directed by Robert Zemeckis, who also made the Back to the Future movies. Did you know that? We have Trading Places with the great Don Amici, and also Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. They were also in it. Home Alone 2, the most violent film ever put on the screen. Watch it again and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Then we got Rise of the Guardians, which is better than it should be. Bad Santa 2. We have Christmas Chronicles 2. You're seeing a trend there. Then we get to Ernest Saves Christmas. That one actually hurts me that I put it in naughty, because it's better than people give it credit for. Preacher's Wife, I think a lot of people give it credit strictly for the fantastic soundtrack. But the movie itself, highly flawed. Not the sublime film that The Bishop's Wife is. And again, if you've never seen The Bishop's Wife, take some time this Christmas season, bring around your loved ones, and really curl up with that film. Now, here's stuff about rolling things. We got Harold and Kumar and The Night Before, both drug comedies for your Christmas pleasure. Then we got Jack Frost. We got Jingle All the Way. We have 8 Crazy Nights and Mixed Nuts. The interesting thing is 8 Crazy Nights. I watched it just this year. All the criticism about the terrible voice that he does, all that stuff, it's just bad. I couldn't find. It at least has a valid plot. It's got a story. There's a redemption. It's got some Christmas feel to it. but it's just not. It's not funny. I think it was made to shock. It's like a 12-year-old would do. Oh, I'll be funny by talking about farts. It just isn't that funny. We have a good one coming through on our comments. Tammy suggests a year without Santa Claus, the heat and the snow miser. I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Sun. Yeah, I love that one. Did you know they did a live version of it? That's absolutely terrible. Hey, did you ever see that? It's terrible. Don't do it. Yeah, your children will hate you if you make them watch it. Okay, so then Santa Claus 3, when we're getting shameful. I think Santa Claus 3 might actually be better than some of those in the naughty list, but it upsets me so much. It got shoved down to the bottom. Christmas with the Cranks, Deck the Halls, Fred Claus, Home Alone 3 and 4, and I'll throw 5 in there. And Four Christmases. That's a bunch of really crappy movies. I wouldn't watch any of those. And it hurts me because I love Martin Short. I hate having Santa Claus 3 there, but it deserves it. And then, not a Christmas movie, movies that folks keep trying to call Christmas movies and they're completely out of their minds. Die Hard, Gremlins, and Lethal Weapon in no particular order down there. That's my list. I'm going to save and share that someplace out there so that you can enjoy it later and maybe jot down notes if you don't know some of these. I will tell you, and I've said it a number of times, you really want to check out The Bishop's Wife. It is a fantastic film, and everybody should get a chance to see that movie at least once or twice during their life. I watch it every Christmas morning. And part of the reason I can do that is it isn't as long as It's a Wonderful Life. It's about the same length as Miracle on 34th Street, which all three of those movies came out very close to each other. In fact, Bishop's Wife and It's a Wonderful Life share two actors that were in both. They were both kids, and I think they were shot right about the same time. It really is amazing. But great films, both. But I like The Bishop's Wife. I think part of that is I love Cary Grant. I think he's a great actor. David Niven is often overlooked for his comedy chops. But really good stuff. I think that's going to be it for us here on the list. And want to thank you. Oh, hold on. Okay, got that all out of there. I want to thank everybody that came out. It looks like Tammy sat there the whole time. Thank you, Tammy. Really appreciate you for coming out and taking a look at what we had to say. Remember, too, otherworldly culture, we have movies, we have horror, we have all sorts of stuff that we do on our website. And, of course, you can check us out on Twitter at Radio Other. You can check us out there. Want to thank you all for tuning in and wish you all a very good evening.